I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. Watch you smile while you are sleepy. I just realized that that's creepy. If you wake up and see me staring at you, you might think, what the fuck? This is just bad luck. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep, 'cause you might realize that I'm just a fucking creep. 'Cause every moment spent away from you, I gotta stare through your living room window, and I still miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing. Bars. Aerosmith bars. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, been listening to some nostalgic music, and shout out to the new lighting right now. Okay, we're like a 10-year-old boy didn't get a present on his birthday. We're just playing with it. You know, we're playing with everything that we got here. We're playing with the set. We're playing with the lighting, seeing what works. I look like I'm filming a Jamaican pop song right now, but it's all good. I look like I'm about to film a Drake song in circa 2009. Just, I'm more than just a something. I better find your loving. Bars. Yeah. I decided to put a button-up shirt on. I don't know why. I'm just tired of tees, you know? Tired of the tees to the shirts, and had to switch it up a little bit. I'm also going to fix the way I drink water on here. I've been listening back, and I'm like, why the fuck do I slurp? So, do I have to get a straw? Maybe. Do I have to get a cough button like fucking Joe Rogan's new fucking studio? That fucktard left to Texas before I could. Everybody's going to think when I moved to Texas, I followed him. Listen, your boy was in Texas long time ago. About 2 years ago, actually. Or like 3. But, yeah, I got to do something. I got to keep improving with the podcast. It's going to get better, okay? We're going to keep doing new things and keep upgrading, okay? As long as I keep moving, you can't say I'm losing, okay? Okay, this shit's a marathon, not a sprint. Or whatever cool cats and kittens say. Been listening to nostalgic music, okay? I've just gotten bored with, a lot of the music that I do listen to. So I'm like, let me just start venturing out. I've been listening to a lot of music that people recommend. And I went down a nostalgic rabbit hole this morning of like 90s smash hits of the shit that you listened to when you were a little kid. And you're just like, oh shit. Shout out to the motorcycle riding by. I realized there was so many songs I just didn't know what they meant. And I remember listening to Cher in the bathtub as a little kid. I liked baths. And I remember it was the song, "Do you believe in life after love?" And just the way the reverb was on the song and everything, and the way I was in the bathtub, and maybe I had a hard day, but your boy got into it. And I remember laying there in the bathtub thinking, I don't know if I believe in life after love. And you know, when you're just feeling the song, you don't even know what it means, but you're just like, I'm stronger than no fear. And you're just fucking feeling it to Cher. And you're like, I'm a 9-year-old boy, and I don't know if I believe in life after love anymore. And there was that other song. What was it? It was called like, and I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's meant to be broken. I can't keep singing it because iTunes is going to take me down, because they're like, holy shit, these are the actual artists performing the song. He's using the masters from the mix for his podcast, and I'm going to get taken down because that's how good I can sing these songs. But I remember listening to that song, and in the music video, it was for like the City of Angels and shit. You know how they did that with music videos where they would just mix? They still do it, where they mix footage from the movie into the music video and it's all like tied together. Always a weird flex. So lazy, just so lazy. Maybe show some unseen footage, that'll do it. But I remember in that song, he's like sliding around the room on his fucking computer chair, looking out the window. Again, a real creep watching this girl go about her day. I think if you break down most music, it comes down to being creepy. Like Aerosmith, really? Like I was just singing that song, wasn't planning on singing a remix to it about being creepy. But if you just think about those lyrics, like I don't want to miss a thing. Just watching someone sleep, kind of a creepy move, okay? I remember one time coming home from college and it was the middle of the day. I surprised my family and I was so tired from morning practice. Your boy waking up at 4 a.m, bars, working out, bars. And I took a nap in the middle of the day at my parents' house after I surprised them. And I wake up about an hour later and my mom is just sitting on the couch watching me sleep. And I was like, Mom, what the fuck are you doing? And she's just like, I missed you. Real creepy. Even if your mother does it. So if someone that you're dating does it, super creepy. So don't stare at people while they sleep. Give them that respect, okay? Give them that respect. Unless you're planning on murdering them. Then I think it's okay to watch them sleeping. It's probably ideal for you in that situation to catch them while they're sleeping. You don't want to catch someone right after, like in the middle of a good workout, they're listening to some like pump up music. That would be like the funniest thing. Like there's times when I'm doing boxing workouts and everything and I'm just primed. I'm fucking ready. And I imagine, I'm like, it would be so funny if someone broke through the door right now and I was just sweating in my own place, jumping rope in, boxing shoes and just shorts, sometimes underwear. Listen, your boy is normalized working out in his underwear, giggity. But they just burst through the door thinking they're going to get the jump on someone. And I'm just there sweaty, ready for fucking 9 rounds. Just like, wrong house, motherfucker. You picked the wrong house and the wrong time. You got to come back when your boy's a little tired. Maybe catch me after the sauna. You'll have a chance. Okay? That's my dream. I've always had that fantasy since I was younger. Is wherever I am, I usually have a panic plan. Window breaks. Okay, I know what to do. I've practiced this. I'm ready to go. And I've always had the fantasy. There was a point where all I had at that time in my life was a bow and arrow. Okay, I had this fantasy, someone breaking in, and I would go to the closet and I'd hide in the closet. It was a deep closet. I'd pull the arrow back, the bow, Robin Hood style, and I'd be waiting. And now here's the thing, you got to stay in the dark because that's what you have over people is your eyes are adjusted to the room. You're fucking ready. And someone walks through the door and they're creeping around. Maybe I put a pumpkin on my pillow and I cover it so they think I'm right there. They think I'm just snoozing through it. Bad move, buddy. They go up to the pumpkin, stab it in the head, thinking they're ending me. No. All they hear in silence, they pull back the cover, they just see a fucking smashed pumpkin, kind of like a pumpkin. And then they're just in shock. They're just like, what? And then all they hear from the closet is, wrong house. Dead. Or maybe I catch them with a hole in the shoulder, so then they go stuck against the wall, and then I... other shoulder, pinned up against the wall like fucking Jesus Christ. And then what do? Crown of thorns. And it's probably, 1 a.m. right now? I'm about to make this last till like 7 a.m. They're going to rise with the sun. That's the thing. It's like they're going to be crucified. I will then transfer them to an actual cross that I have ready for this situation. Listen, you break into my house, and you're trying to smash my pumpkin bars, you're going to have a bad time. I'm going to make an example of you, okay? I feel like that's a thing, that you should be allowed to do when someone breaks in. Obviously, I'm joking, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ, someone's going to take this too serious. This is going to get me canceled in the future when someone actually breaks in. And they'll be like, Your Honor, the defendant who was crucified, lucky to have his life, still bears the scars of the Son, the Holy Spirit, as the offendant has stated, you can see this video going back to 2020, the year of the apocalypse that we barely made it through. He devised these plans. This was premeditated of someone breaking in. And I'm not going to be able to defend myself and be like, Your Honor, I'm guilty. It's crazy that we have laws. That was so ridiculous. It's crazy that we have laws to protect people who break into your house. Like, that makes no sense to me. There's been cases where people break into people's houses and they like trip and fall. Like, one dude fell through the skylight and landed on a glass top coffee table, broke his leg, and he sued the people living there, and they had to pay for his recovery. Like, he ended up winning the case. Oh, what the fuck? Insane. The same thing, like, when someone's like breaking into your house, if they're running away from you, but you shoot them, you're in trouble. That's manslaughter right there. You know, that person might have broke in to kill you and smash your pumpkin, but you shoot them in the back, you're going to jail. Crazy shit. It's just not good. Not good. I think that's why a lot of people are leaving California, because we do have some crazy laws. Let's see. What did I want to talk to? I want to talk to you, bitch. I just saw this right now. It was crazy. If you guys, David Blaine, he fucking did it. Watching him with, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he did this stunt. It's this thing he's been promoting all fucking last couple months, Ascension, where he was gonna do basically the thing from Up, where the old man with the balloons and he floats away, or whatever the story is. He wanted to do that, where he wanted to go something like 49,000 feet up in the air, basically enough to where a normal person would die, and he had to have an oxygen tank. But this motherfucker did it. I was watching it this morning live, and I'm like, you crazy son of a bitch, you did it. He actually did it. He did every young man and maybe girl's fantasy of getting enough balloons to float with it. He did it. He had these giant balloons. You got to Google it and look at it. David Blaine, I'm giving you free promotion right now. He literally held on to a crazy amount of balloons and just floated. If he had kept going, he would have floated up past the atmosphere, and died. That's like, oh, that's such a crazy fear of that happening. Like, you just start going up like fucking Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. You know, when they drank the juice or whatever, and it made them just start floating and they were going to the ceiling. Such a terrible fear of just going on like a hot air balloon and it loses control and it's just like stuck in up. And it's just like, what do you do at that point? You know, you're way too fucking high to jump out. You know, that's the thing, is if like you hit that 2-story point, like 2 stories up, you're like, man, should I just fucking jump? I'm going to break both my fucking legs, but at least I might live through this. Or if you're over the ocean, that's what you kind of got to hope for, is you're just like, please let me just be over the ocean and I can fucking swan dive this thing fucking perfectly. You know what I'm doing? Out of a fucking hot air balloon over the ocean? Flying squirrel to a back gainer, okay? Because you know what? Shit's going to go viral. It's going to go viral like coronavirus, baby. That's what I would do. I would have to make it work. Ugh, that's terrible. But yeah, David Blaine did this. It's crazy to me, David Blaine. Like, some of the shit he does, if you saw him on Joe Rogan Experience, shout out Joe. He does the craziest shit. And some of it isn't even like sleight of hand. Like, when I see him do crazy card tricks, I love that shit. Because it's like stuff is going on and he's such a master of it that it doesn't even make sense. You're just like, what the actual fuck? And I've just only seen it in videos. I can only imagine the what the fuck of it being in person and you just having no clue how he put a card under your fucking watch. But he does a lot of stuff where it's like, what? Like, why are you even doing that? Like, when he had Joe Rogan stick a needle through his fucking arm. Like, he legit just did that. Like, it's more of a feat of just Steve-O-ish, you know, where it's just like, haha, fuck yeah, dude. And then you put fucking hot sauce in your eye. Like, there's no magic to it. There's no illusion. And it's the same thing with these frogs. What I'm impressed about is him actually being able to throw up the frogs. That he's just like, and can like find a way to control and push the frog up. If you haven't seen that, you got to go look at that, where he's just throwing up frogs. There's one with Drake. Shout out to Drake. Hey, hey, hey. Where he throws up these frogs in champagne glasses. And it's pretty impressive. I think Dave Chappelle is there too. But David Blaine, he's an interesting character. I think the people like David Blaine impress me. Like, they're so savants of what they do. This is probably my biggest issue, is that I do a lot of different things. So I don't hone in, because you only have a certain amount of energy that you can put into things. I don't hone in on one particular niche or craft. And I think that's just what works for me. I think I would get pretty bored and feel pigeonholed if I could only do one particular thing, whether that was just music, whether it was just videos, whether that was just comedy. Like, I would start feeling way too put into one case. I don't know, that's just the way my brain works. But someone like David Blaine impresses me when they stick so hard into one vein, and it's like they just perfect that thing. You see it with mixed martial arts, which is irony that it's more than one martial arts, but it's like people who get so good at one particular craft. I just saw that. I'm pretty excited about it. Miley Cyrus was on the Joe Rogan Experience. Dude, Miley Cyrus, despite what you think about that weird VMA performance that she did and just kind of some weird things, and just the way that she talks. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the way that she talks. But that woman can sing. There is a live version of Jolie that she sings, and holy shit. That song, I listened to it on repeat. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Like, she really is such an insane talent, and her voice is just incredible. If you haven't seen the live performance of Jolene, go listen to that shit with Miley Cyrus. Phenomenal. Yeah. But people who perfect one particular craft so well, it's always just awesome to see, and it's inspiring. So shout out to David Blaine. Even though sometimes, man, I look at him and he's so dead behind the eyes. I'm like, what did you do to get this good at magic? You sell your soul to the devil? Do you think every time you pull off a magic trick, it just reminds you that you're going to be the devil's slave in hell? You know? Because he does the trick and he just looks at the camera. It's like he almost is the epitome of depression in those moments when he pulls off the trick, because there's no reaction, and it's almost like he's just trying to suck the happiness out of the person. And I get it that it's a shtick, but it's just, man, dead behind the eyes. Doing magic is a hard thing right now. I feel like the internet with special effects and everything, just so much stimulus, it's hard to get people to be like, magic, you know? When you have fucking Snapchat filters turning people into cats and shit. Man, those Snapchat filters. It's crazy to me when you see so many people, they live through those filters. You just see like it's such an escape from reality. And it makes you think that that's like when people have fucking like their filters on every single picture on their social media. And it's like their profile picture is just the googly eyes and the weird blemish cover-up makeup effect, and you're just like, this is their last 10 pictures. This person is living a lie. They've created basically what you like, an avatar of what their actual life is online. And it's strange. It's so strange, just the idea of social media, the way everybody hides behind it or hides in it. Like, it's odd. It's odd when people put such a facade up, and I know they're not happy. It's something that I actually try to deal with a lot, is make sure I keep everything grounded in reality with the way I am on social media. Either it's blatantly I'm doing parody, or I'm trying to be honest with how I am, struggles, and just everything. Because it's like, man, the second that people start praising you for a lifestyle that's not true to who you are, I think you feel empty. Because what I always liked about stand-up comedy in particular is that a lot of the things that I'm joking about or I have perspective on, they're true. They're either true in the sense of my emotions, of how I feel about something that's happened in my life, or my opinion on something, and it's a true opinion. And when you get a room to laugh at that and to laugh in almost agreement that something's silly, it's almost a, okay, you guys are my tribe. That's like a huge thing. And I think when you see people get praise and love for things that they're not really connected to, that they're not true to who they are, it's an empty feeling. And because you don't get any connection, you get, it's a facade, and you realize that people like you for either things that you've expressed that aren't your best point of who you are, or you're trying to get that fulfillment out of that, those likes and those comments. And it's that's dangerous. I always think that is diet life. It's sugar free. It's that weird aspartame or aspartame, depending on what part of the world you live in. Yeah, I think that's why you see a lot of celebrities. I think it was Jim Carrey who said, I wish people could get money and fame and see that it's not what fixes your issues. And you see it a lot with celebrities when they first get fame and they realize that people like them for someone who they aren't, whether that's actors or musicians and people who have. It's kind of changed a bit because celebrity went from a thing where it was the mystery that everybody loved when they thought Johnny Depp was cool as fuck. But at the end of the day, it was just, he's just a weird dude that wears scarves and shit. And you fall in love with people's characters, not who they are. I think it's become now that celebrities and comedians and everybody, you actually want the personality. You want to know who they truly are. So I think it's changing. But I think there was a time where people felt so disconnected from real people because of fame, because of all this stuff, that they felt like the people liked them for who they were on stage, not for the fucking person who likes to eat fucking cold pizza and, I don't know, watch weird National Geographic documentaries. I don't know. I don't have to explain myself to you, okay? But you know what I'm trying to say. But David Blaine, dead behind the eyes. But Mr. Blaine, congratulations on your ascension. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it's quite a feat, it's quite a feat. I saw, dude, you know what's crazy? I feel like this is just crazy. It feels like we're almost getting back to the beginning of the pandy, though. Carole Baskins is going to be in Dancing with the Stars. Like, what the actual fuck? Carole Baskins killed her husband, whacked him. What's happening? It's crazy to me. I don't know why that's so funny to me that Carole Baskins is doing Dancing with the Stars. Tiger King now represents the only nostalgic point of this pandemic. We were all locked in. It was still fresh. It was fun. It was like we were all camping in the living room together during that time. The Tiger King, it was just camping in the living room with your friends, It was nice. It was like, this is nice to get a break from everyday life. And I don't know, dude, how, her husband is dead. She for sure fed her husband to tigers. And somehow they labeled her as an animal activist. For sure she's an animal exploitionist, what if that's a word, she's exploiting those animals. And she's doing a lot of weird things, She has one of the best phrases, though, that I use all the time. Sup, all you cool cats and kittens. I would love to see a Tiger King 2. I would love for him to get out and really see more into his life. I feel like they could take all the footage they didn't use and make a second season that would be fire. I think that's what the world needs right now. There's too much hate. There's too much things going on that's like just anger. Talking about tribe earlier. People are in tribes all over life. And I think that when we don't find a tribe of our own and something that matches up with who we actually are, we join weird tribes. And it's like the natural thing of people want to feel included and part of something. And a big one to join right now, you got human trafficking, you got kids in cages, you got Republicans, you have Democrats, you have liberals, you have radical liberals, you have Antifa, you got all this crazy shit. And I feel like it's dangerous, like tribalism for the sake of tribalism. People, it's been broken up, and this is when it gets dangerous, is it all moves into breaking down things that are super complicated into simplified sides. Red versus blue, Republicans and Democrats. If you're a Republican, you hate babies and you want abortions and you don't care about kids in cages, and you start just putting these blanket statements on everything. And the same thing with Democrats. You start looking at them and you just go, oh, you just want chaos and anarchy and all of this stuff to break up the family nucleus and just give people welfare and just destroy our economy. It's not that easy. And it's crazy. It's crazy that politics has gotten so volatile. It really is toxic. And even talking to people about politics, people are so on edge because of the pandy that like it's better not even get involved in politics. You can have your own beliefs. You can talk to people who, are going to give you opposition. But if they do it in respectful ways, man, and it doesn't turn into a heated debate where you start attacking people personally. That's a huge thing that, you have to realize you still see good in people, even if they have completely different political views. There's good people everywhere and there's bad people. And I think people, it's too easy. It's low-hanging fruit just to attack someone just based off their political beliefs and to label them, Bars. But one thing I did think was funny, is how childish politics have gotten. I saw an article where the GOP slammed Nancy Pelosi for getting an indoor haircut in San Francisco. The article said, surveillance footage aired on Fox News Tuesday showed Pelosi walking through a salon with a mask around her neck as a stylist wearing a mask followed behind her. Republican critics pounced on Pelosi, accusing her of hypocrisy. That's always the funniest thing, when people take this voice for the news. It's just so dramatic, and it's like no one really talks like that. Can you imagine if one of your friends talk like that? Hey man, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Last night, I had pizza. Okay, cool. Get the fuck away from me. But I think it's silly that it's turned into such a smear campaign. Like no one even really talks about what they're going to do exactly. It's all just fluff. It's all just, let's attack the other person's character. Let's not talk about objective ways that we're going to, fix issues going on in the country. It just gets into tearing the other person down. It turns into a smear campaign, and it makes everybody feel gross. It's kind of like when you're hearing your neighbors fight and all you're hearing them do is call each other a bitch and a cheater and a liar and a cunt and a dick and an asshole and tons of other cool names you can call people. It just makes you feel sad at the end of the day. So I'm like, I'm going to have to look at you guys, And in this case, it's like, one of you guys is going to run the country. So that's cool. That's cool. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to fall asleep. I don't want to fall asleep 'cause I miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing. And I don't want the world to see me. Dude, all those songs back in the 90s, they were all about the same shit. It was all just girls. And it was like, you don't want You don't want the world to see you. You don't want to miss a thing. You don't want to believe in life after love. Oh, that's not anything groundbreaking. 2020 is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just been a wild fucking year, and we're getting towards the tail end of it. Okay, what is 2021 gonna look like? That's the real thing. Is all of this after the election? Is it gonna kind of settle down? It's gonna be scary as shit when a vaccine comes out. Like, what does life look like during that? Because, man, they're not doing really any clinical trials on vaccines. And if you haven't seen it yet, I put on YouTube a video about vitamin D and vitamin C. Basically, it's just good for you. Okay, take it for your immune system. It's gonna be a way to be preventative, so you don't have to take a vaccine. But it's gonna be weird because I don't know if they can ever mandate a vaccine on adults, especially one that's not really going through that many clinical trials, the kind of clinical trials you would want of something being injected in your body. It's going to be interesting what happens next year. But it's going to be, I wish this wasn't an election year, because I think things would have been handled much different rather than, I don't think it was a plandemic, scamdemic. I think it was something that was capitalized on for political gain, which is shitty, because in a perfect world, we would just come together and put our differences aside to actually do what's best for the country. But there's too much gain to be made and too much to be lost. Like the fact everybody was attacking Trump. I just actually heard about this on another podcast, and it was kind of mind-blowing. Everybody was attacking Trump on, putting kids in cages and shit like that. That was brought in by the Obama administration. And I'm not trying to divide people. What I'm trying to say is that, it's these political talking points, these actions and these objective things that people do. People don't care about the actions. They care about who did it. It's a smear campaign when the other people did it, but it's good when your people did it. It's just, there's so much hypocrisy on all sides, okay? And I'm going to leave you with that. Remember, at the